ultimately eventually releasing thylacines. How would that be done, and what kind of study would have to be done? Because you're talking about all these animals that come out. Look at all the animals. That probably won't be the case if you reintroduce thylacines. They'll start thinning it out.
That's what we've got going on today.
So they've done a lot. Let's just keep people up to date on Australia. Most people don't know that they've introduced cats. So house cats. You want some water? Yeah, it's right there. They introduce house cats. Like
Right, you ready, brother?
house cats in Australia to combat certain
Let's have it.
species. And they start decimating.
Let's
all these
go.
species.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's literally the number one in a million extinction rate is in Australia.
Right, and it's because it's an invasive species.
These are my settings on my ACUS.
Would there be a similar problem?
What's going on, little Lee?
Introduce the Tasmanian tiger. Would there be potentially? Would you have to reintroduce other species if they make them extinct? Like,
So the
cascade.
good
My
news
bad.
about the Tasmanian and the southern
That's what I'm going to be using. +1 motor setting, 100 Hertz, 3.0 stroke on the ACUS. Wasn't supposed to be on no YouTube. Right, let's get this in. It's been a while, mate, it has. If you've seen my new vlog, you'd understand why I'm back. I'm shooting today's vlog as well. But what I'm going to be doing is going live with every tattoo I do now, so I don't have to put it in the vlog. I'll put like behind the scenes stuff in there. How's it feeling, mate? Nice. How's the stream? Is it 1080p, by the way, guys? Is it Is it 1080? What's going on, man? What's going on, Ramos? Yeah, let me know if the super clear, nice quality. So it's 1080p now, yeah? Because that'd be unreal. This is why I didn't really want to stream, because you have to have external apps, etc., etc. And it was only, the maximum quality was 720. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff coming very soon. I'm going to just turn this volt down to 92 Hertz because I just feel it's a little too high for his skin. Please smash that like on the video, guys, if you liking this stream. It helps the video get out there.
One of those codes back in like I don't know, thousands of years ago.
How big was
I
it?
don't know. I've seen a 3D render of it, and it like grabs like deers and stuff. It's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We played videos of toads eating mice. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, so before I saw those videos, only a few years ago, I had no idea toads would just eat mice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they put them in this bin with a bunch of mice, and this toad is just going ham, just snatching mice out and swallowing.
And you think that they're just sitting there docile, and then they just absolutely they close their whole
Well,
body.
they sit there. They have the creepiest dead eyes. They're just machines.
Yeah.
You ever seen them fight with each other? That's pretty wild too. They bite each other's heads and they throw each other through the air.
Yeah, I've seen them toss each other.
Imagine you fighting with a dude and he literally bites half your torso and throws you through the air, and they don't even look like it bothers them.
Yeah, that's just part of the fight.
Cheers for the support.
Like within the rules.
That's what creeps me out about reptiles.
Right,
There's this
let's get
lack
this
of
in.
emotions. Like at least a wolf has emotions. You know, there's something going on. There's intelligence. There's something really creepy about getting eaten by something stupid,
Like a crocodile.
yeah, like a crocodile or like a toad. There's a thing about crocodiles that people were suspecting, but it turns out to not be true. That they would lie on their back and put their arms in the air to simulate drowning.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Apparently that's not what they're doing. Apparently that's a normal characteristic that they do.
But stupid, from a natural selection perspective, stupid people are like, I have to say.
Yeah, I gotta go save that
Yeah.
dude.
And then we credit the crocodile for being super smart, but in reality, it's got fruit meal.
Yeah, well, you would think though if they have gotten those meals before that would be a learned behavior. I mean, just
Yeah.
they do have some learned behavior. I have a friend, his name's Jim Shasta. He's a professional hunter, and he was actually hired to go into Africa and hunt crocodiles that were killing all these people in his village. Like they're actively targeting people in his village.
Yeah.
And when he went to the village, everybody was like missing a foot, they had a chunk taken out of their leg.
Yeah.
And while he was there, a crocodile took a woman who was washing clothes. So what they had done was they set up this area outside the water where they had driven these stakes in the ground.
Do you run on the reference to keep track all the times with the complicated stencil like that? Yeah, just the reference to keep track.
In the water, and they just explode out and snatch you up. Yeah. These fucking crocodiles went around the fence.
I know it looks really confusing, but as long as you can stencil it onto the skin pretty well
Yeah,
and not blurry,
it's weird how some of those.
then you're good to go with this. You'll see, like, when you come to a part, you'll see it's very easy to track on the reference.
You just didn't know. There's some things that are known, like elephants get cancer a fraction of what they should due to an overexpression of a gene called P53. So there's this thing called Tyler's paradox where, based on age and body weight, both blue whales and elephants get cancer a fraction of what they probably should, based on how old they get and what their body size is. And that actually is very difficult, and that's why we had to create stem cells for elephants. Because anytime we had to figure out how to regulate P53, because anytime you go to edit that one cell, it just says, looks like a mutation, could be cancer, kill cell, right? It's like programmed in. So we have to be able to turn that down. We want to be editing phase on the project, right? So there's about 85 genes.
Just to turn that down, does that make them more
You got it.
susceptible to cancer?
And so you got to turn it down to make it. So, yeah, so these are the things that you just.
What opaque grey set do you use? I don't use an opaque grey set. I just mix my own inks, bro. That's all I do. Sorry if I miss any of your comments, guys. Just keep. If you send me a super chat, I can go back in the chat and read them if you really want an answer to something you really need. But yeah, I'm kind of under the camera right now, just working, just leaning over, so I'll have to dip my head back up to see who's commenting.
Yeah. And this is where it gets weird. Like China, Russia, some other
It is being weird. Like CRISPR and genome engineering tools are outside. They're out. It's like the genie on the bottle, right? It's like
Right.
it's out there. You can't put it back in. I think that more and more people in other countries are going to be doing things with these technologies for humans. That's why Colossal just said we will never do anything for humans. If someone else wants to use our technologies for humans, we'll evaluate it.
It's so weird, right? Like the China story. You can explain to people what they did. They said they were inoculating them from HIV
confirmed with the
34 people live. Please smash that like button, guys.
so that you pass on the next generation. That could be like, you know, umbrella corporation type moment, right?
Right.
We don't want that.
Well, the scary thing was they didn't just do that. They also edited something that would allow the child to have much higher intelligence.
Well, so that part's like that part's under debate. There's people that say that happened. There's people that say it doesn't happen. If you look at BGI or Beijing Genomics Institute, right? They did this thing that, from a nefarious perspective, was brilliant. From a nefarious perspective, it was also terrifying. During COVID, they're like, "We'll do all the COVID testing for free. We'll do all this COVID testing for free. No worries, just send us your data. We'll do it all for free. We just want to help the world, right? We'll work with a World Health Organization. Just send us all your samples from all your countries, everything." And publicly, the CEO of BGI has said, which is funded by the CCP, has said that they are looking at genes for teens. They are looking at what makes teens more intelligent. They don't shy away from this. It's not like some, conspiracy, like you're like, is it a Sasquatch or is it a man that makes it? This is something that is very real. They are openly saying, we are sequencing as much as we can of the world population, looking for genes for intelligence, and we will act on that. Like that's not an easy thing. So that is the problem.
Supposedly good. If you
Supposedly,
these kids now.
I mean, that would have, when did that happen? Yeah, so they were like 6 to 7. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not.
Find out.
Yeah.
We should find out.
Like magnets,
Probably in a lab somewhere with a headset on.
Yeah. I don't know how public it's like. It was just one of those weird things that was like, he's in trouble, he's going to jail,
Yeah.
and then he's like, and then he's out.
Yeah.
All
He's
those
a good
forget.
guy. Yeah. But meanwhile, you go to jail in time, fucking bad.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for this guy.
You're
This guy.
making iPhones until you drop dead of starvation.
Yeah, it's 100% true. And
Yeah.
so it is weird that like he got in trouble for a few months.
Right. And you got in trouble for something that
Well, they funded his lab. His lab was funded by the.
and this is what we found out about. I guarantee you there's shit that they're doing somewhere that we haven't found out about yet. And if you were going to do something with human beings to create a super soldier, we know that
Well, that's what
Russia,
does.
what Russia was attempting to do during, was it World War I or World War II? They were trying to make a chimpanzee human hybrid for
Oh, I saw that. I
For
read about
war.
that. Yeah.
a chick human hybrid for war.
Well, there's been a recent publication out of Japan where they're allowing Japanese scientists to edit human cells and embryos with mammalian genes. With other mammalian genes.
That's what kind of genes? Like little mammoth genes?
No, no, we are not doing that. People ask us if we could solve hair loss with woolly mammoths.
That would be the first thing people want.
Yeah.
Hair loss, next thing, baby dick.
Yeah, we're consistent.
Well, you can't engineer once a person's already born, right? With the current technology.
With the current technology, like so being able to send stuff to specific gene therapy and targeting and being able to deliver specifically to cells is an area that we're getting better at. I think one of the projects that's furthest along is around like sickle cell anemia. It's a single CRISPR knockout, right? It's a single knockout. It's not multiplex editing. And now it's about, can you target that in all of the tissue types that are the most affected? And then over time, how do you deliver that gene therapy to everything?
And you could do that to a person who's already born?
To someone that's already born. It's obviously much easier to do it if you can do it. So
Could you envision a world where the gene editing technology becomes so powerful that you could do it to a person who is already fully born?
yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
This is what I predicted. Everyone's going to look like Thor.
it's
It'll be a bunch of Chris Hemsworth and Jason Momoa's, and no more people look like you and me.
wait. Chris is one of our investors, and I always think we look just like each other.
Oh, yeah.
So he invited Luke invited me to go to
From another planet, I think a different species is.
Yeah, they invited me to go to Byron Bay and go surfing with them. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to take my shirt off next to you. Never. That's exactly what's never going to happen. And I just made it an excuse of why I couldn't go because they're like, you want to go surfing? And I was like, yeah.
Sure you do. You want to
Yeah, I'm not going surfing with you.
measure cocks too?
Yeah, like, I'm going as far away from you as my shirt off as
But
possible.
you gotta imagine if that becomes a reality. Like, what we're doing today just with plastic surgery,
Yeah.
right? Like, let's take
What
South
did
that's achievable, right? What GLP-1s are doing is achievable through hard work.
Yeah.
But like what they're doing in South Korea with eye surgery, like
Yeah.
it's ubiquitous. Like so many people are getting this weird surgery where they have these K-pop eyes.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a strange thing.
it's a strange thing, and that's just primitive cutting and sewing tissue artistically, right? But if people can decide what they're going to look like, what their intelligence is going to be like,
Yeah,
like
it's a eugenics.
now we're really playing.
No, that's probably got to another level, right? And that's like this eugenics world where we know, right? Like, I just had a child, and typically, I'd say if you go through the IVF process, which we went through, you typically can test for certain types of issues, like along with pregnancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they put the embryo in, they look at kind of the morphological thing. Well, now there's new companies out there, one of which I use, which after I used it, I was so impressed I invested in it, called Orchid Health. And they actually take cells from the developing embryo on the very outer term, right, on this thing that doesn't affect the embryo development. They culture those cells, and then they're doing full genome sequencing, right? And so we had a handful of embryos, and so we're not selecting, they don't want you to select like eye color or height or anything. But outside of the kind of the core, is there a mental issue or is it compatible with life, which is what most people test for, you can now, ethically and transparently go figure out, does it have any predispositions to certain things, right? So like, whether it's diabetes or cancer, types of cancer or Alzheimer's or in your family, you can now get, a lot of that's environmental, but you can still get a distribution score that so you can understand what are the genetic factors in that. So that's today. That's not like 20 years in the future. That's not Gattaca. That's today. And I mean, we did that. Because I found out during that sick period that I have a gene mutation which affects the titin gene and activates truncated protein. So I am more susceptible to diseases, including the first true round of COVID, that was a lab leak, that attacked the heart. And so I didn't want to be able to pass that on. So we screened for that, right? That's not a standard thing. So, but that's a today thing. Like 2 years ago, that technology existed and is now prevalent and people are using it.
So you understand the technology better than most. Conceivably, what could be done that would, in the future, allow people to change their very shape and it literally like change everything about them, change their intelligence, change everything?
I think it starts with neuroenhancers, and I think and this is the biological stuff. This is not even the computer brain interfaces merging with AI, that whole world, which I think that world has a lot of traction and is scarily getting a lot of traction with it. But I think it starts with things like health span, where it's like the So, but the other one we haven't. And so, because you're right, you have environmental factors, you have personalities. We don't understand all of that.
Right.
But I won't say who it is, but it's someone that's very well known in the world. When I was filming some of our direwolf and red wolf tech, his kid was devastated because his dog was dying, and they didn't want to put her in any harm. They didn't want to go to one of these dog cloning companies and do like ear. They didn't want to put her to sleep, and then she wakes back up. So we did a blood draw. We called it over Christmas, or before Christmas last year, and told me that that they think the dog's back weeks, days to weeks live could be beautiful. And we did it for him. We're not in that business. That's not our business. But he was just happy because his choice wasn't he didn't want this other dog, or Sam didn't want another dog. His biggest issue was they couldn't let go of that dog, number one. And number two, but they didn't want that dog stuck. They didn't want to say, for our selfish means,
Right.
you're already suffering. We want you to go be put to sleep and have pieces taken, like Frankenstein pieces of you. And so the fact that we could take a blood draw, the dog didn't even notice because the blood draw was like totally awake, just sitting right there while we did it. And he was happy with that. So I think these
What if that dog is going to be reincarnated into a higher level of existence? You stop it and put it on this like.
yeah. So that's not exactly our business. So,
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
We don't really exactly know what life is.
No, we don't. We definitely don't know life. And here's one thing that his assistant told my chief of staff. He said to her, he's like, what's weird? I didn't think it was the same dog at all. And it's definitely not the same dog. He's like, he goes and sits in the same place, which isn't like, it's not like in front of a window on its bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact place, but he always goes sit in the exact same place the other dog said. So there's weird stuff. We don't understand.
That would creep me out.
It would creep me out.
Because Marshall has very specific places where he sleeps.
And if that happens, yeah.
It would creep me out.
Yeah. So
I've had other dogs stay at my house. I had my older daughter's dog stay at my house, and that dog would go to that same spot. It's not like this is one spot that's warmer or cooler.
Yeah, like it's the same thing. Like my dog Ken, if he like gets on, like he only wants to sleep on my feet. If I fall asleep on the couch, he's cool. He wants to sleep on my feet. He just wants to sleep on me, and that's not comfortable for him. Someone kicking him in, but that's just where he wants to sleep.
Please smash that like button, guys.
My dog watches TV.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good stream today.
Yeah, and we didn't even teach it this, but when we say security at our house, I thought just lose, I can't just lose his mind and just runs to the door, he goes to the front door, runs to the back door, goes to the side door. Yeah.
What kind of dog?
They're just muds. So I have Barbie and Ken, they're just two little weird muds.
Dog.
So we named them before the movie.
It's just a weird thing to take that dog, and I think also for kids, the thing is that kids, the loss is so devastating.
Yeah. But it's also getting pessimistic.
Yeah, I think loss is important.
Yeah.
I think loss is important.
I'm new to this whole father thing, but I think it's important that they understand that there's real things, that there's consequences to decisions, and we're gonna age, and we've got a limited time. I think that in his lifetime it will be massively accelerated. But I think that's important. And that is one of the things though, I think having a kid, and also all of these kids and parents that have been sending us pictures of mammoths and dioceses and dodos, and hopefully not that old, it is something that's exciting. And we get these handwritten notes from kids, right? So like on our shittiest day at Colossal, when someone says whatever or whatever, and we get, or an experiment doesn't work or whatever that happens, and you look at this pile of kids' photos and teachers, like there's a teacher named Katie from Florida who sent us a letter and literally like 40 pictures of it. And in that letter she goes, my kids won't be quiet. We're in this like attention war with everything. My kids won't be quiet. I start talking about Colossal. I show it the word announcement. They all want to just talk about it. They just zone in. Right? So it's interesting. And kids, and so I think this is a time that we can use technologies for human health care for good. We can use technologies for conservation for good. And we can help ecosystems with bringing back extinct species. But I think that we can also like inspire the next generation. Like, don't we want to treat hope? We're on this 24/7 psycho news cycle, right? Like that wasn't around when I was a kid.
Do you know C.S. Lewis first started talking about this? Like what year was C.S. Lewis alive? But he had a quote about the just getting all the dire information of the world
all the time
sent to you all the time, which at his time back then that was very new. That was a completely new thing.
And this idea of these 24-hour news cycles, right? Like there's actually a law in the UK. any degree of social impact that they don't tell the negative side. I'm like, well, what happens is like, so if there's someone says it came from a tree up to the dog's perspective, like, it's like, and they're like, yeah, and they're dead serious.
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
So it's like, I was like, there can be stories that are just negative, and there can be stories that are just positive. That's okay.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have very lively debate. That's always going to happen when something is so groundbreaking like what you're doing. But I also think it's inevitable. I think human beings have this inescapable desire for innovation.
Right.
And it's going to apply to biology just like it applies to electronics. And you can't do anything about it. You can have debates about it, and we should. We should have. You should. You know what you guys are doing is great. You've got the dire wolves fenced off, and you're very careful, and you're monitoring them. It's great. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And at least you're transparent about it.
Yeah.
Like at least it's not happening in Russia where they're making super wolves that only eat Americans.
Yeah, and they train them with DNA and only eat
But
American.
that's probably gonna happen too. This is just. We're going to face unique problems no matter what we do because technology is allowing people to do things that are unprecedented, including change what it means to be an actual person.
Yeah, synthetic biology and really kind of the intersection between compute, AI, and synthetic biology, being able to engineer genes, engineer life. I think that we're at the doorstep of, everyone's very, very worried about AI. But I do think that synthetic biology is in that camp. I think it's like discovering fire.
It's the God chance. Yeah. It's all falling into the same thing. And then when you add to that incredible computing power that's going to be available with quantum computing.
Yeah.
And then you have new technologies that are going to emerge from AI using quantum computing.
And then the interface at all. It's not everything. It's just going to get,
the interfaces are crazy.
Yeah.
We had that gentleman, Noah, the first guy who got it, and he said he has an aimbot in his head. So like when he plays games, he's like got a crazy advantage. Because where he looks is where the cursor goes.
Yeah.
Like instantaneously. So he could shoot things like he's not gonna miss.
Yeah. I mean, we are living in a weird time.
But it's the weirdest. It's the weirdest time that people have ever been through, and we're at the door. We haven't even gone into
No, that's why I say like
wild.
That's what I say about synthetic biology, right? So like the ability to like engineer drought-resistant crop or a vaccine or regrow our hair or make mammoths. That's the day. We can't even think about what's tomorrow. We spun out a company from Colossal called Breaking last year, and this incredible group at the Reese Institute discovered an enzyme from the Amazon that actually breaks down any type of plastic you give to it. And not making smaller plastics, not making microplastics, which are fucking terrible, but actually breaks the chemical, that's what I mean with breaking. It actually breaks the chemical bond of plastic and just produces biomass as a thing. Well, it takes things that have broken down never, and they've got it down into years. We have used now computational biology and synthetic biology to engineer it to now that it's in 22 months. And I think that we can get it down to 2 weeks. And so that will be huge for the plastic problem because we can all say that we're going to change hearts and minds and we different types of plastics, but we still have the existing plastics here. We have to do something about it. So I think there's even industrial use cases coming out of synthetic biology that like 10 years ago, someone said we need a magic microbe that you can put in a vat and you can throw any of your plastic in there and you can do salads and other stuff that won't even touch it. That would sound like science fiction. 10 years ago.
That's so crazy. And so now you said it's down to a couple months?
Yeah, it's 22 months right now. So, and we're talking about like not just like your water bottle, but you're also talking about things that are like industrial defense plastics that are like, radiation hardened and whatnot for space. Like we're throwing some pretty hard stuff at it.
What about those stupid fucking windmills that they have to change?
Oh, they actually have a
landfill for windmills.
And they also have a bigger negative carbon impact.
Yeah.
Than they make,
And they don't barely make any electricity.
Yeah. They kill livestock, or they kill animals, kill birds. They disrupt. They also disrupt migratory types of birds.
Of course they do. Yeah. You can't fly over that.
Yeah. And they're all made of plastic. And plastic polymers.
And then they have to get rid of them. And then the only place you put them is in a landfill.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's why we started breaking. So
wow. So these microbes would be able to break that down.
Yeah, I mean we haven't tested on that specific, but like one of the biggest ones that we tested on was nylon. Just because there's so much. If you look at like what's in the ocean, a vast majority of it is nylon from just discarded fish nets.
Oh, that makes sense.
So we looked at nylon as one of our first use cases, and then we're doing water treatment do those types of things because the microplastics and then the chlorine and other stuff still passes through a lot of the existing material.
So when you're doing this, is this something that you could release like in the ocean itself, or would you have to worry then about the effect, like bringing the house cats to Australia?
No, it dies. It only is just like
This is
so.
this is what they always say right before it fucks up.
But with the distribution in the wild and something like that, you have to go through EPA. There's a lot of testing that you have to do, right? So
But you could do that testing and then conceivably dump it on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
So I don't know based on heat and salinity and whatnot. Right now it's working in bioreactors, so I don't want to overpromise and say we just go sprinkle it and call it a day. But that's the long-term goal, right?
Wow.
So, but that's the power of we used AI and computational analysis of this microbe that's found in nature, and then we said let's supercharge it, just like supercharging the coals, right? And so, but the process of using it outside of contained systems like a bioreactor has to be done very thoughtfully and measured, just like remodeling, right? Like this is where some of the people get confused about like the Yelps and stuff. They didn't just open the gate and throw some wolves in there. And it sounds like they did more of that in Colorado. But there's typically a very thoughtful and measured process that you have to go through, right? Because there's intended consequences that you get excited about, but then there's a shit ton of unintended consequences if you're not careful.
Yeah.
But synthetic biology is that it's an AI level thing that we need to be worried about.
And how many different nations are working on this stuff?
So I think that the U.S. is by far the most advanced from a synthetic biology perspective. It is a major directive of China, not just sequencing and biobanking. Because they're biobanking. We do not have a nationalized biobanking process here. That's one of the things I was meditating and watching about. But China does. China is going, like, we see them in Africa where they'll make donations to a university or school and say, oh, but we're going to take blood samples from all of your animals on it. You guys are cool, right? So they are doing this, right? So they're looking for insights from animals, they're looking for that data, they're also trying to build, like, today's Noah's Ark. And so China is for sure. There's some countries it's harder, like the European Union's harder to do anything because they kind of put a moratorium on GMOs, genetically modified organisms. But, we've been making GMOs for a long time. Like, have you ever seen a pug? Like, we've just done it pretty inefficiently, right? We can be smarter and actually have a better understanding of those intended consequences now through AI and software.
So people are going to have dire wolves go in their house.
Yeah.
In 100 years?
They're not okay.
100%. They're going to get your technology, and they're going to sell it, and people are going to be eating woolly mammoth steaks while the dire wolves come to their house.
Yeah, that's not the future that I hope for. I'm more of an optimist, so I kind of believe in the general good of humanity.
Of course, it's your company. Your company is fucking the whole world up. You have to think that way. But it is weird. It's a weird venture. I mean, you're going down a very bizarre path, but it's so fascinating. I'm so glad you're doing it because it's so interesting.
And we're learning a lot, right? And the application of that learning could allow us to save many species, right?
Yeah.
And I think that.
Do you think there could ever be a time? Well, there's no DNA from the dinosaurs, right? So would it be possible that with future technology there would be some way to get around that?
Right. So the closest you get from a dino DNA perspective is that.
All done soon? Yep, and not just with your hair. With the help of their accounting software, I sorted my numbers too. So now I can take my business anywhere. You want a red kilogram? You want a red kilogram? How would you react when free flights with Kayak offer ends 90 per day? Enter now at kayak.co.uk/free flights.
There is ways you can do demineralization of bones and get amino acids. So like the smallest building blocks possible, you don't know where they go. I think that it's not possible to be extinct a dinosaur. I do think at some point you could use AI and software to do an ancestral phase reconstruction, looking at kind of what we know about birds, what we know about reptiles, and kind of where they branch.
So you could make one.
I think
Wasn't that one of the things they did in Jurassic Park?
That's what
They
they
had a
did.
dinosaur that didn't exist before, the big giant one?
Adominus Rex.
Right, that was something they created.
That's something that they created, right? And so I think from a technology and genome engineering perspective, that is eventually possible.
Ooh, so they could easily make a T-Rex
I would
without
say,
not
easily, yeah,
but they could.
at some future state. At some future state, I think we'll have like, the CAD software biology where you can engineer almost anything.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, that's just where the technologies go, right? The better, you said it best when you drive quantum. Quantum's only 2 years away, every 2 years I hear. But eventually, when it works at scale, and you have that coupled with, where some of these companies like X.AI and others are taking it, I think the merger of that plus synthetic biology will allow us to do all kinds of stuff. And it will be in the fairy tale. Like, let's just be real. Nuclear weapons are in the fairy tale, right?
Yeah.
Nuclear weapons are in good medicine, right? And so this is nuclear weapons. And I think that you have to be, just because it exists, we can't put our head in the sand and say, oh, we just can't let it be. It does exist. And I don't know if you saw this, but this was like 5 years, like 7 years ago. People in China, companies in China, and the government in China, were using facial recognition technology to profile people, right, of certain subset of race, right? And they were doing bad things with facial recognition. Well, the San Francisco government, where a lot of the funding came from Silicon Valley for a lot of tech startups, they said, not at a nationwide level, but in Silicon Valley, we will not at all support any technology. We're going to ban investing in facial recognition technology. Well, that's just dumb, right? Because we now know there's things like deepfakes and all that stuff. That's setting American innovation back because someone's doing something bad with it, right? That's like saying, oh my gosh, they have guns, we should never develop guns, right? Like it's a bad philosophy when it comes to technology. And so, I think the same way about synthetic biology. The world is currently, the United States is the leader in synthetic biology, and we've got national treasures like George Church, my co-founder, and others. And I hope that we continue to be the world's leader. But I do think other countries have different ethical boundaries than we do, and they will experiment with it.
But it's interesting also that you're a company. This isn't the government. This is just a group of people and investors that have decided to do this. And you've been able to do it here in America. But do you know what is going on in other countries, or is this a tightly guarded secret?
So, I mean, we know.
Obviously, you have people. I'm sorry.
Let me have a little look at this.
As well, and
I
I'm
appreciate
sure
it, bro.
There's an
Mighty
understanding
Mo.
of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's good. You must be being studied by other countries.
Yeah, we definitely, and we have investment.
Hell yeah.
Right? So I'm sure that
It's happening from South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I did.
closely with the DoD and IC.
I did have a good break.
When you think about it,
Needed to work on myself. If you haven't watched the new vlog, watch it.
there's no limit.
I explain everything in there.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
It's so strange to think that for 4+ billion years, life has evolved in a very specific pattern.
It's on rails.
Yeah, and then one day.
And now we say we can take the rail where we want.
Ooh, boy. And that's the grandest of all conspiracy theories, is that's how humans were created.
Yeah, the panspermia.
Well, either panspermia
Or
or
we were engineered in.
the great one is the Anunnaki, right?
Oh, yeah. I will say that if you look at, not to get too weird, but if you do look at it's like Kublai and folks, and if you look at some of the carvings from all over the world resembling their sky gods, there's a lot of weird similar. I mean, you can't objectively. It's like the guy with the Sphinx, right? Yes, that's water. I'm an expert on erosion. That is water. And then they're like, here's the Sphinx, like, that's not water, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as this. You cannot look at some of this stuff and say that's not weird, right? You can't look at like, the incredible pyramids we have all over the world that seem to have like more and more discoveries, and then they get silenced on the. It's like you can't see all that stuff and not wonder more, especially the stuff around. If you look at Mayans and you look at stuff in the Middle East and how it looks exactly the same.
It's very weird.
It looks exactly the same. Have you been to Peru?
No.
So that I would put, I don't
need to.
I do not want to take you away from going and visiting Bogota. You should totally do that, but you should also go to Peru. Peru, if you can see Peru, and it's like standing in the Grand Canyon versus seeing on Google Maps, right? If you go it's not weird.
Yeah, to not say to say it's not weird is actually denying science.
Yeah, it's the weird. So you should put Peru on your, because when you see it, there's nothing like it. I've been fortunate to know travel over the world. You see it, and you're just like that. That's disgusting.
The coolest thing I've ever seen is Chichen Itza.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been
Chichen
Chichen
Itza,
Itza, yeah.
and you go there and you're like, what did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do? How'd you do it?
Yeah.
How'd you do it?
You know what's crazy about Chichen Itza? They don't let you go there anymore. But I don't know where, but you know, you've got all this pass with all the vendors and you to Chichen Itza. Well, there's in the jungle there on the Yucatan Peninsula, there's actually other older pyramids. But the carvings that they have on Chichen Itza and the carvings they have there, they're actually the older ones have more precise carvings. But now guess what? It's not open. Yeah, I've seen that, I've been there.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
But honestly, it is such a weird world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about like hardcore genetic science, but then when you start to look at all the craziness in archaeology, we don't know a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can know a lot.
Anytime you suggest something new, you get shit for it.
Yeah, you get a rash of shit, and people try to connect you with the worst people in the world. Hence Graham Hancock.
Yeah, but I think Graham Hancock in the end, I don't know if they were, kind of this advanced civilization or whatnot, but I think really smart people said things like Plato and others that were probably real.
Yeah.
I don't think they were just like playing around and like, oh, we're gonna write something that's gonna be in history as a joke forever.
You've seen the Reichardt structure? You ever seen that? This is with, there's a lot of people like Jimmy Corsetti, who's this famous YouTube, I guess you'd call him, I guess he'd be like an ancient, sure, he'd be like an ancient history enthusiast. He's a guy that's like studies these things and does YouTube videos on them. But the Reichardt structure is essentially Atlantis.
Oh, this is in the desert.
Yeah. It looks like Atlantis, there's salt all around it.
It has the rings that Plato described.
And at one point in time, it was connected to the ocean.
Yeah.
It literally looks like Atlantis. And people dispute it. A lot of
Have people gone and studied it there? Like,
well, it's a very difficult place to get to, and it's also very dangerous. So people have studied it, but there hasn't been like large-scale archaeological digs there, or anything. The whole sub-Saharan Africa is fascinating. They find whales there. You know, I mean, they know that it was lush rainforest while human beings were alive.
Yeah.
There hasn't been like a large-scale exploration of what's in that ground. And it's immense.
I do think that the Younger Dry stuff is also a combination of, I think generally speaking, if you break down the Younger Dry. Period, infinite rapid cooling. I think the vast majority of people say some of the destruction, some of the drug destruction around Megaton was anthropologic, with that I'll give it some percentage. Then I think a lot of people agree on this flood theory.
Anthropological.
Yes, it seems to have some impact on it, right? I think that even more people agree that there was this massive flood that occurred, and that could have been a global level flood with sea rising, with rushing waters and sea rising, whatnot. And then you've got, what caused that flood, most likely astrological meteorological.
And then they combine that with core samples that show large levels of iridium.
Yeah, which only exists when you have certain levels of heat with certain impacts. It's like that. It's like that nuclear blast, whatever you call it.
Iridium is actually different. Iridium is actually very common in space. But
yeah. And there's a layer. Yeah, there's a silk.
Right. The micro diamond.
But they have those too as well.
Trinity.
Trinity, definitely.
Yeah, that's what stuff from the Trinity explosion is discovered there. Yeah, they find these little micro. There's 100% there's impact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And they also know, like, when the meteor shower, this is the thing for study. Like, when we go through this comet shower, that's...
Do you remember, like, probably 10, 20 years ago, people, if you brought up the idea of a worldwide flood, they would just be like, oh, you're a fundamentalist Christian, can't knock you over it.
Exactly.
Right? Oh, why can't it be weird? So, like, maybe it wasn't just a regional flood, right? Maybe it was done by impact of comets. Right?
That's what brings me to the weird ones when you go back to, like, the Vedic text. And you're like, what was the Vimana? What were these flying vehicles?
Yeah.
What was Ezekiel talking about in the Bible?
Have you seen that stuff have you seen those videos in the last, that have come out in the last year when there was the most
lot of those crazy balls of light.
We're all fake.
No, you can just zoom in on Venus,
Yeah.
and that's what you get.
Cool.
You zoom in on stars, and you get this sort of bizarre, distorted image. Have you seen that? You find zoomed in stars. I think they did it with the North Star. They've done it with several stars. But if you zoom in with the highest level of these telephoto lenses from Earth, you can get that sort of distorted, weird effect.
So
You're looking through the.
I've always seen this stuff on the internet until I was in Wellington, New Zealand, when I was with Peter. Peter, his house in Wellington was like on a body of water, I don't know where, and we were talking, of course, like conversation with the ghosts and UFOs. He was like, "Oh, you've seen why not?" No, I haven't seen it in person. I've seen it on his iPhone. Like this wasn't like a telescopic lens. This was an iPhone, and it looks exactly like what you see, I guess, on the zoom in.
But that's the thing about zooming in. See, the thing is, like, these are planets that people are zoomed in on.
Yeah.
But there's weirder ones where, like, there's video of it, and so it looks like it's moving. Yeah, here we go. Like, look at that. Okay.
I'll have to
But you
see.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I
this
see.
is a perfect example. So
Exactly.
this is a star in the night sky with a Nikon P900. So is that 900X, Jamie? What is that? Can you talk to the mic?
The model number, I have no idea what that means.
So what would you think that the amount of okay, so but you see how they're having a hard time zooming in on it because it's a handheld, I think. But look how weird it is.
It's still weird.
It's how it's moving around like you say, oh my god, you found a UFO. But it's not. It's just a star.
Well, I didn't think that every UFO video is blurry.
Well, I mean that could be if you want to get into the whole Hal Puthoff perspective. He's this brilliant physicist.
Yeah, he's on a lot of papers.
Yeah, he explained it to me. He thinks there's some sort of gravity distortion that's around. So this is
What is it that? Isn't that the?
this is that particular camera. So is this not a very
What is it that?
so it's a $749 camera on Amazon. So
I'll see if Peter will give me his entry with, and I'll send it to you. 'Cause it's just weird to see.
oh, they're weird. No, I'm not saying that
This
they're
is
not real.
like not zoomed in. His wife's next to him.
I am not denying.
I have never-
people are seeing things,
But
I'm
I've
not
never
denying
seen
that
it.
they're real. What I'm saying is that kind of evidence of that star.
Yeah.
If you didn't know any better and someone sends to you, oh my
You
god,
said
I found a
it's a
UFO,
UFO.
you'd be like, holy fucking shit, it's real. Look at that, it's undeniable. Look at the energy around it.
Yeah.
What Hal Puthoff believes is that there's some sort of distortion around these things
Yeah.
that's allowing them to be transmedium, to go through the ocean.
That's all the. That's all their like 0 point energy and moving and gravitational wave type stuff.
Do you go deep on this?
I get
overboard.
overboard.
It gets boring because there's no real resolution.
Yeah.
You could lose your mind, but I had dinner with Jacques Vallée and Hal Puthoff once and a couple of gentlemen, and they were explaining the state of the technology, like what they think is currently available and what they think these things are using.
I did a call with. I got into that crowd for a while, and before I started Waffle, and I knew a bunch of those folks. So I talked to Lou, I talked to Hal,
If you imagine what we are now, where we are, what you're describing in terms of technology that's emerging right now,
and we have werewolves today in 2020.
yeah, and now imagine this 5,000 years advanced.
Yeah.
And you're probably looking at that. If we are being visited,
Yeah.
that's what you're probably looking at.
Yeah, it's not. If you look at the exponential rate of our technology curve, it's not far.
Now, imagine the monkeying that you guys have done with dire wolves.
Towards this monkey.
This little monkey.
The selective precision genome engineering.
Amazing stuff you've done with dire wolves. I'm just being silly. But imagine doing that to primitive hominids. Now, if you were an insanely advanced species from another dimension, another planet, whatever it is, and you're a million years more advanced than human beings, and you come down here and you see Australopithecus, trying to figure out how to make a spear, and you say, listen, let's get a little bit of this,
Yeah,
a little bit of that.
I told you one edit makes 5,000. Confers 5,000 resistance to neuroclasses. So it's like a couple of edits here is a lot.
And then there's the other theory that what we're heads are getting bigger.
Yeah.
That's them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I read that. Seriously.
it's a bizarre archetype, right?
Yeah.
It's a very strange thing that people keep
Yeah.
seeing over and over and over again. It's
Yeah.
just very weird that there's a bunch of different versions of life that they allegedly see.
No,
Not
I
that
get it.
one.
I go down those rabbit holes. 'Cause, I mean, I just think once again going back to like the stuff of like Kukulkan and Anunnaki and all like just all this stuff.
Yeah, Anunnaki stuff.
It's just so strange.
Yeah.
And how you have certain things that are aligned to celestial things. You're like, yeah, but they could have picked a lot of constellations.
Yeah.
Why did they all pick the Pleiades or whatever it is, right? Like,
Right.
why did they do that?
And also, how did the fucking ancient Sumerians have a detailed map of the solar system?
Insanely detailed.
From 6,000
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
How?
yeah. Well, and also be able to predict well enough of where it was going, knowing that we were moving through space.
Yeah. And also have these giant things, little monkey people on their laps.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, there's weird sides. There's a cool thing about this. The thing, take a step back. There's, even though a lot of times people like Grant Hancock and others are ridiculed about it, like, and we get ridiculed for the actual science that we're doing and improving every day. At the end of the day, it is still cool and it's interesting. Like, I don't want to live in a society or a universe where everything's figured out. Every day is amazing, and we're figuring out amazing things.
Well, unlike you, I don't have the burden of being taken seriously. And that's great.
That's
For
great.
discussing the big,
Well, you can go explore. That's awesome.
It is great.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
super interesting.
I love it.
I think that's why so many people subscribe to your podcast is because one minute you'll talk to a Canadian and a UFC fighter, and the next time you're talking to someone that knows more about like the ancient flood than anyone in the world.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating. And
Because
the
we should
world
have
is
conversations.
yes. And the world is filled with so many fascinating things that are all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible. I mean, and you can get lost, like we were talking about with the C.S. Lewis quote. Did you ever find that? He talked about getting the news. What year was C.S. Lewis alive? Yeah.
I started tracking down, like, there's a bunch of misquoted C.S. Lewis quotes.
It could be one of those. It could be one of those. But we're being inundated by the worst news of the day because that's the news that's going to ensure that you watch it. And there's
Yeah.
so many cool things that are happening at the same time. And I think it gives people a distorted perception of the hope that we have for mankind. You hear about wars, like, oh my God, but most people aren't going to war. Most people are cool with each other.
Yeah.
Most interactions between human
Are
beings
positive.
are positive, and they're fascinating. And human beings are a fascinating creature, and we're so lucky to be alive at this time where the innovation is reaching this bizarre tipping point where we're, you know,
I mean, I love it. I'm working more hours than I've ever worked in my life, and I've been fortunate before this business, and I will just tell you, I just love it. Every day I wake up, it's awesome.
that's so cool.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
Well, I'm glad you're doing it, man. I really appreciate you. And thank you so much for coming in here and showing people the
Yeah.
dire wolves and the red wolves, and I hope more.
Yeah, we'll keep you up to date on fun stuff.
I want to see him. I want to see him.
All right, we'll talk offline.
We'll talk offline. Thank you very much. Oh,
Yeah.
if people want to find more information, find more about you,
We're Colossal. We're
colossal.com.
Colossal.com, and it is Colossal on YouTube and X. And we're at Colossal on X.
Cool. Seeing that CGI one walking through the snow.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that one day.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. And I mean, look, the cool thing about Colossal is we have so many people that, we have 170 people, over 135 scientists, just that wake up and they work 24/7. Like, we got 4 labs. People are just, in love with it.
That's right. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
You gotta go see the lab.
I will. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye, everyone.
Londoners step out. The city's cold. Whether it's a night out or a city adventure, free now gets you
California used to be the traveler's dream. You live as one. That's kind of how you make it out here.
Hopefully you worked up an appetite.
That's the essence of Shasta. Look at that now. People say there's aliens coming to visit the city of light in the mountain.
Definition, heaven on earth.
This is a sweet box.
You call me a hippie, that's fighting words.
You think a bunch of hippies in the woods are all living in peace, but it kind of gets like Lord of the Flies. Secret name of God is you. This is the bookshop in Shasta. You get into the earth, and you can feel the earth spinning. This is the temple of the I Am. God's nice and warm with it. Vote for San Pedro Cacti.
There's something real special going on with this mountain, and it calls people.
Good morning, guys. We are on quite an adventure. We're going over these hills here to a place called Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is just over 14,000 feet, but what exists underneath it is a very interesting world, I've been told. People living off the grid, a lot of spiritual types, crystals, aliens, cults, a little bit of everything out there. Just got off the phone with a local. He said, Peter, you eat a little bit, and I'll show you what's going on in this very interesting corner of America. Let's do this. Where are we going, guys? Going up to the Bride Spring. It's some of the purest water in the whole world. It actually bubbles up through like crystalline volcanic shafts. It gets purified as it comes up through the ground. Some of the water is 100 years old by the time it reaches the surface. So some people come out for the water. Some people come out here for the New Age awakening kind of thing. And then other people like me, they come out here for the weird stuff. The weird stuff, the history. Because 10 years ago, I came out here from Utah. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we literally tied all of our stuff to this longboard. We just lived at this campsite. And around here, in the late 1800s, there was this dude named Guy Ballard. He supposedly came out here on a mission with the military. So in this exact area, he supposedly met a dude named Saint Germain. The dude came up to him and he gave him this cup. And he said, this is basically the Holy Grail. This is the stuff of immortality. And he started giving him all these like kind of secret spiritual wisdom. And he wrote these books about this dude named Saint Germain. And over the years, people read these books and developed this group called the I Am to talk about the teachings of Saint Germain. And people come here because they believe this water is like the stuff of immortality, pure water. Really good water. Tastes so good. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. How many people would you say are living like you out here? My age, people that live my lifestyle, not that many. I'd say like maybe 10 or 12. It's mostly like older hippies that made their way back in the day, got their cheap land, built their big house. So you're attracted to the hippie lifestyle? I try not to call myself a hippie because like hippies used to mean something different. It was more of a choice. Nowadays, especially with the weed economy kind of being totally gone, people kind of get, I wouldn't say forced into it, but it just kind of happens. Like you end up, I kind of lost everything. I could be homeless or get this van and sustain by traveling. That's what one of my friends said. Like that's how you know you're really a traveler, is if you have to keep moving in order to sustain yourself. A lot of the people that come out here spend most of their year out in Los Angeles, right, and just barely making it so they can get here
car and stabilized. The second I got out here, little did I know, 2020, pandemic hit, lockdown, full-on lockdown, especially out here. People got really scared. Out here, people got even the hippies. In the beginning, no one knew what the heck was going on. People were like, we're in a small area. We get hit out here, we're all gonna die. There was just so much intensity. Nobody was hiring, couldn't get a job, just kind of got pushed into the lifestyle of being in tribe, being in community. That's kind of how you make it out here, right? Everyone shares food stamps and pulls their money together. You live as one. You travel between spots. You don't blow up the spot for too long. And so how does one get food stamps? It's pretty easy out here. I can't get them anymore because I had a job. I didn't know I was making too much money for a couple months, and now they won't give them to me ever again, which is okay because I work. Literally, all you gotta do is go on the internet, apply, say you're homeless, say you don't have an address, and they'll general mail all your stuff to the post office. Get a ride down to Wairika, and they'll give you a food stamp card that day.
It's that simple.
Yep, doesn't matter where you're from.
You have to prove that you don't work or something?
You don't really have to prove much at all. You literally sign a note that says, I haven't made any money. And then give your John Hancock and take a picture of it, upload it to the website. Oh, this guy's broke. They'll give you the food stamps.
How much do they give a month?
Not much. It's literally like $285, which is why a lot of people go out to weed. We call it gross out.
The next town over.
Yeah,
Called weed.
no, called weed. Funny enough, there's the gross out there, the grocery outlet. We call it the gross out because it's kind of cheap food, you know. But they have good stuff because they know they got a supply of hippies. You get some really cheap organic food with your food stamps. And the second cheapest option would be a raise. And I would say that the raise is almost completely subsidized by the government. Because hippie or not, it's probably the most low-income county in Northern California. So you go to the raise, all those employees are paid out by food stamps. The whole store is kept going by the food stamps. You get in line, every card you see going through that reader is going to be an EBT SNAP card, California.
How do you feel about it now that you're not taking food stamps?
It feels better to me. I like getting the food stamps, but at the same time, you kind of get into a pattern of like, especially when you're living in your car with a bunch of other people doing the same thing, you get into the pattern of like, oh, I don't need to work. I'll just kind of roll around with these dudes, and I don't really like that pattern. I'm a dreamer. I have a lot of ambitions and goals, so I kind of had to separate from a lot of the community out here and kind of do my own thing. And I ended up just kind of living by myself. I was working at a Wendy's as a manager. I don't really always fit into with that stuff, so I stopped working there, and now I'm doing the food delivery. I do a little bit of caretaking for kids with autism and stuff like that. So every year, there are more and more people coming out here saying, I just quit my job and then I live in my van now because prices are going up. The wages aren't going up, but the prices are going up.
Hi. Hi, I'm Gemini.
Hi.
How can I help you?
What do I do?
You can ask me about whatever's on your mind.
So, what, just
Yes, but normal. Just talk normal, and I can ask you anything.
Of course.
Anything.
Can I ask about cars?
Yes.
Tell something spicy about taste.
Have you tried smelling it?
Football?
I love talking football.
Google Pixel 9 with Gemini Live.
walking that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. So this is Twin Arrows. You come out here, and there would be like sometimes 30 or 40 cars all the way back out there. And they just post up, and this is where you be all summer. And I've actually done that.
You can see they left some trash around too.
Yeah, the echoes remain of the crazy, crazy stuff that happened here. And I wouldn't say that they blocked it off just because it was hippies living in the woods. They blocked it off because there is history here. You'd think a bunch of hippies in the woods are all living in peace, but it's like I said, a lot of these people aren't really true hippies. They're just trying to commune with nature. A lot of people that come here are living in a van and wearing the clothes of the hippies. But I'm just gonna say it, like there's crime. There's people have died out here. A lot of people have died out here because it kind of gets like Lord of the Flies. Like it's a bunch of traumatized kids that had to run away from home and they don't really know how to live in the world. And now you're putting them in a ringed out area to live for the whole summer in the woods. Anything could happen. You know? I was in this tent with my girl, and we just hear this dude, he starts popping off, going crazy. Hey, all the hippies are hit, stand this. And then we get done. He just starts shooting off his gun in all directions, going nuts. And I remember at the time, in my mind, I'm like, man, hippies aren't supposed to call the cops. What do? I called the cops. I was like, I was fearing for my life. Dude. I was actually super scared. And it's funny because the sheriff did come out, and he basically was like, oh, he can do that. He can shoot his gun. I don't care. He kind of gave us the vibe of like, I don't really care about you guys. Like, you guys go ahead and destroy yourselves. They've never really enforced anything that goes on out here. It's kind of like what happens in the woods.
But now they've shut it down.
Now they shut it down because
So where does it pop up? If you shut it down here, where does it pop up?
now it's kind of spreading out all over the area. People go up on the mountain now, but this time of year, less and less people are here. The cold kind of does the favor of the locals of keeping all the hippies out. You were just asking me, like, are you kind of nervous to say some of this stuff? And it's like, of course I'm a little nervous, but I wouldn't be myself if I didn't tell my story the way that I've seen it happen and didn't represent this place fully. It's better for people to really know the truth. Like, when I came out here, I had no idea. I had no idea how the depths to which this life could take me to. And I just kind of had to find out on my own. So, like, more and more people are coming into this life. And it's like, you know, it's fun. It's a good time traveling around, living in the van. You gotta understand, there's stuff that comes with that. Like, the places that you go, the things you're gonna see. You're gonna run into people who know you're vulnerable. And some of those people are some of your fellow travelers, you know, so.
I lived a van life for a little bit, but this is 1995. Out of my buddy's dad's like empty cargo van, just metal, right? And we'd sleep on the floor of it, and we toured all around the U.S. And that opened up my eyes to the world, or the country at first, right? And that experience, I credit a lot of my life for is that experience. Because we never traveled growing up. I grew up in the Northeast, in Vermont. We never went anywhere other than New York City and Montreal. So getting in a van and cruising all out west, we had our lawn mowing money. It was 3.5 months, just me and my buddy, 18 years old, open road. And we didn't have, but I don't remember these environments. I'm sure they existed in some form, but we just stayed, I guess, to ourselves. And I think it's the way you're traveling in the situation you're in financially too that determines
The life,
what you get around, right?
yep. Kind of in my blood to travel. Like, I've got,
I suggest it. Some people aren't designed for it, and that's totally cool. I respect everyone, but I strongly suggest. I admire guys like you. How old are you?
I'm 29 now.
29. Okay, you're a young guy.
I'm looking pretty fresh.
You are. But getting out in the world and seeing things, or just in the country, it builds depth and balance and understanding. But there's the dark side, like you're saying.
harder is what I'm trying to say. Mostly like just with the climate of things, like California used to be the traveler's dream because you get out to the final frontier of California, Northern California, back in the day, everybody was growing weed. And nobody had to get permission to do it because the police didn't really know how to fully enforce it. So the weed legalization actually destroyed the weed economy. Because now you gotta spend like 50 grand or something to get a big enough license to actually supply a dispensary. And you gotta pay for packaging. And by the time it reaches the store, it's just dried out.
So that opportunity is gone, for sure.
Yeah, because like I used to come out here and I would be able to run into someone at the park and be like, hey man, you want to trim? And then you'd end up at some nice house getting set up with steaks and mashed potatoes, trimming pounds of weed for $200 an hour. Like, that's a dream, you know?
And that was before 2016, where it was legalized.
Yep.
And so it's like, how I'd like to explain this to many people, because they don't interface with the weed industry or what it was here. It's like any crop, right? Like you're in Nebraska and growing corn, right? And that's all done by the big ag these days. But it's a comparison, like that's your crop. When the crop goes, the money goes.
Yep.
The opportunities go.
Yep. Whole businesses fell apart because who's gonna buy the food? Who's gonna come into your little shop? Like, if there's no money, you know? And that's where we get raised getting completely subsidized by food stamps and things like that.
What age did you leave home?
16. At that age, I didn't even realize I was homeless. I just kind of saw myself as flowing with the rivers. I grew up in southern Utah. When I was 16, because I wasn't believing in the church, my parents kind of said, like, you either go to church.
Mormonship?
Yeah, Cedar City, Utah.
Oh, wow.
Shouts out to Cedar City, Utah.
Yeah,
I
I've
know
been there.
through this video. Small town didn't really fit in very well with the rest of the community. We were kind of like the misfit Mormons, you know? But I didn't believe in it. Pretty much from the time I could remember. Couldn't stand just having to sit there and listen to some old dude talk, you know? And over the years, that kind of developed into me. I became a musician. I joined bands, and I was from the time I was 15, I was traveling around the whole state of Utah, setting up my own shows. And eventually, I started, hanging out with older dudes, smoking weed, and parents found out, and they said, you either go to church, stop smoking weed, or you move out. You're already doing your own thing, bud. And I said, yes, you're right. Packed my bags and started touring with my band and living this traveling life.
You talked to your parents now?
We were on much better terms. Back then, they were very devout, and it's funny because they no longer believe in it either. They've left the church and they support my path and what I do, and it's really cool we were able to make that.
That's cool. This is your music?
Yeah, I call myself alchemic because I'm a master builder of sound. Kemet was what they called
Pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I can't say I like much stuff. I can't say I like much new rap these days.
We keep it conscious. Like, my music is a culmination of the knowledge that I've gained living in the woods and being on the road. So it's like, my goal has been to like create a commentary on this life and bring consciousness to this lower vibe stuff we hear nowadays.
What do you mean by that lower vibe stuff we do nowadays?
Well, I feel like the subject matter is really dumbing down our youth and filling people with bad desires, like desires to do drugs and be violent. And like, hip hop originally was a way to alchemize your way through these things. Like, it was a way to like use words. Words are made by spelling. You spell words and you cast spells. Words are magic. The words that you speak are going to be what takes you where you're going to go, you know? The way that you talk about reality is the way that reality is. So I really think that it's in the best interest of some of these bigger corporations to have these guys painting the picture of a life of excess best interest of a corporation to have you consume more, you know? So even in this area, the past 4 years, I've been the master blaster of Mount Shasta. I go from, you know, open mic to different places performing my words, giving a commentary on this life, and it inspires people. Like, people come up to me like, dude, you made me feel charged up just now with what you were talking about. Like, giving me riddles, sending me down this trail of breadcrumbs, taking me to a higher truth. Like, that's what art is supposed to do, right?
Act as an escape or inspiration. A removal from the mundane.
Like I was telling you earlier, it's all love and light out here, but it's also kind of the hood in the woods. Like, anything goes. That's kind of been my way of getting through these things. I like to put kind of like mysteries, riddles, esoteric wisdom in the song. The goal is to make it cool enough and have a dope enough beat that you hear this terminology and you're like, what is Nibiru? What is Marduk? Like, what is he talking about? You look it up and you may end up on a whole spiritual rabbit hole just from one sentence. Because that's kind of how I got into conscious hip-hop. I think it was Illuminati Congo. He said something about triple black. And I instantly, I was like, that sounds like, what, triple black what? And I found out it was talking about in the Quran, you're born in triple blackness of womb. And the womb actually has 3 layers that keep you in darkness. So I was like, whoa, born in the triple blackness. So I called this song Triple Black.
This is how I use the Google Pixel 9 to capture my adventures. New Head and Shoulders Formula delivers twice the protective ingredients to prevent dandruff from coming back. Try now.
Nothing beats a tailored playlist, so I settled for a standard van. Renault Trucks experts configure your vehicle to your unique work style. Go beyond the standards with the new Renault Trucks Traffic and Master. More details at renault-trucks.co.uk.
Stomach rumbling. Cook. Crying from a broken heart. Cook, cook, cook. Anything. You don't know what to do or you feel like shouting, I love you. When in doubt, grab another. And just cook.
This lake is one of the older lakes in the country. Glacial water. It actually comes down through here and up under these lava tubes. The lava tubes are super interesting. You notice that over here there's a little shack, I think it's like the University of Nevada or something, that's studying the lake. They're studying it because nobody knows how deep this thing is. Come on. Nobody knows. We have no idea of knowing because there's these huge tunnels in this lake, lava tubes. It's hard to get down there to actually see. And the tunnels go out from the mountain all the way out to Mount Watson, all the way out to Pluto's cave. So the reason why people started to believe that there are Lemurians here is because of the dude named
Explain Lemurian, please.
So James Kirkwood, in the early 1900s, late 1800s, he theorized that there was a lost continent between Hawaii and Mount Shasta that got completely destroyed in a cataclysmic disaster. And supposedly these people were highly advanced. They could build pyramids, they could control the elements. People say they were the original humans, something like that. Mount Shasta in Hawaii, according to James Churchward, this old kind of archaeologist dude, are the last pieces of Lemuria. They called it Lemuria because in Madagascar, there's lemurs, right? They don't know where the lemur came from. So they said, oh, off the coast of Madagascar, there must have been a lost continent. Other scientists kind of agreed on that. So James Churchward was like, oh, all these cultures all over the planet have these similarities between them, right? Weird similarities. Like book is actually really
like ziggurats in Mexico and the pyramids in Egypt, that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he was like, dang, these dudes must have all at one time come from this place, like Atlantis or something. So Lemuria would have come, I guess, after Atlantis. So they say that when the continent fell, all the people from Lemuria ended up, off the coast of the Euphrates in Guatemala, and they did exactly what they did in Lemuria, built these temples, built pyramids. People say that Mount Shasta is actually a giant purple pyramid, and if you look at it, kind of looks
Hey, I know it does. Driving in today, it's got a very powerful feel. I felt it, right? I felt it. It's been a while. I was here like 15 years ago, but you come in and you're just like the proportions are perfect for whatever it's doing. Yeah. What natives controlled this back in the day?
the U-Rock. They say they call it White Devil Lake because there's a white devil up here, and the natives kind of banded up here together, and they say it was one of the last bow and arrow battles where they hadn't bought ammunition or found a way to work with guns yet.
This was 1849 gold rush time?
Yep.
Like 1850s,
Mhm.
50s.
Yep.
Okay.
The indigenous people actually believed that this was one of the birthplaces of the human race itself, the little people,
Oh, wow.
the inner earth, the little people. So,
Yeah, that's a theme with a lot of native tribes, the little people.
yep. So they didn't live here. They knew there was weird stuff that went on here. They would come out here to hunt food, to pray, and have ceremony, and then they would leave. But when it came to the resources being taken over, they stepped in to protect the land. And this is original indigenous land, and they fought to protect it. And it's beautiful. This water is so pure, ancient water. To this day, people come here from all over the world to take their spiritual pilgrimage. And from the beginning, it's been a pilgrimage site.
And this is a buddy of yours?
Yeah, this is my old friend Aura. We met each other like 10 years ago at this old coffee shop that's closed down now. It's called the Chai Shop. Anyone who's really been around will tell you that the Chai Shop is where everybody hung out and connected. This is their bus. They just got the Tesla.
Aura's doing it in style with a Tesla.
It's getting there, bruv.
Yep. That's kind of how they sustain. They got
She's
the
getting there.
bus that can move around to wherever they want to go, and then they can do food delivery and stuff in Tesla.
Oh, really? That's what he's doing, food delivery?
Yep.
Elbows are cunt, innit?
People I know kind of started here.
That's what
A quick break here, guys.
Yeah, over here.
Enjoying these videos, I have another platform where I
Yeah.
share my behind-the-scenes
the rest of it ain't too
experiences
bad.
and dive deeper into
Yeah.
these topics.
Just have a quick break, bro. I need to stretch. Oh.
When it's these videos, it's pretty much impossible to get on camera.
Let's have a look at some of your comments. Yeah, have a stretch, mate, if you want.
This is how we do it. What was it, 9 FBI?
Let's have a look. Yeah, sick. I like it. Right, let's have a little look.
The top tier even gives you a postcard from me from every one of these big trips. It's a really cool group of like-minded people.
All over my shop got destroyed by MC. What should I do?
I'd love to see that.
Motorcycle club.
Extra content and support the channel.
I don't know, mate. To be honest, that's a fucked up situation.
How's it going?
Oh, this is a sweet bus. It's huge.
I wouldn't give a fuck though, to be honest, mate. I'd just carry on. I got told by motorcycle MC to.
I'm from Germany. Can you live this type of lifestyle in Germany? Is it possible like this?
No. No. There's not a lot of things here.
Love from Australia, my boy. What's going on?
Where you can just be. You can camp and go to a camping.
Morning from the US, Rubicon, Don. Good to see you back. Keep rocking. Cheers, Ivan. Yeah, I hope your situation gets better, bro. Bro, you're knocking this out so fast, so I make it look easy. Yeah, it's just, do you know what it is? It's just how I tattoo, mate. It's so weird. Do you know what? I might actually.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is getting loose. That's what she said. She's getting loose.
Okay, you have this thing all built out pretty well. Nice wooden table. Oh, that's cool. You guys have the generator?
There's propane, there's a sink with security dip.
I mean, what are they gonna do though? I don't really know how it all works over in Australia, but over here in the UK, it's pretty safe. I've had a couple of run-ins with some
This is the battery set up in here.
people, but
There's lights.
I mean, I can fight.
Then on the roof,
I'm not too bad. I've fought all my life.
and a little some fence growing.
I've got some trophies actually over here. I'll show you quick.
Although it's
Oh,
free and liberated, there still is some kind of
yeah, I've got some trophies over here. Look.
going on, I think, in the, I guess, the politics of town or whatever. A lot of them do
And I've boxed for years as well, so I know I can handle myself if it got to it. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like a fucked up situation, bro. I can't lie.
rounds. Those have been closed off now, so that is a
It's less free, yeah. And a lot of
Let's have a look at some of your comments. More comments.
people, they're part
You're
of the
back.
town.
Yes, I am, brother. Watching from Jamaica. What's going on? Ink Tension.
It's the Saint Germain
Ink
Foundation,
Tension.
basically. Like, they
That's a
all
cool
believe in
name.
the teachings of the I Am and the Saint Germain, so it's people who used
Just having a
to
quick
be
break, guys,
in
if
the
you're
60s and
wondering.
70s that came here on the spiritual
Good that you're back on
pilgrimage.
YouTube. Yeah, I'm back to stay, bro.
This kind of
I've had some time off. Sorted my health. Dropped loads of weight, and
they became friends with the
I'm back. I'm so tired though. I was like nearly falling asleep earlier.
members of the I Am to join them, so then a lot of the occult practices got crossed with the Freemasonry and the money of the Freemasonry, so they ended up owning a lot of the land and the businesses.
Tapping in from South Africa. What's going on?
Own are like the tree cutting people, people who come and cut trees for timber to make paper. Or a lot of
How do you feel about Dragonhawk coming out with their new machine, Fold Pro? I don't really keep up to date with them, mate. I'm not really a fan of Chinese machines.
up to defend the woods are actually the ones cutting it down.
Well, are you gonna stop the cycle?
Well, I mean, you even
That's
see
awesome,
with
Clint.
with
I'm
the
back.
hippie communities, they come out and
Keto
they
works
use
wonders. It does,
groups
mate. Yeah.
to live out
I'm
there
so
for a month. Next thing you know, half the
lethargic right now, though. I've only had.
so people can do
What did I have to eat today? I've had an avocado and
learning to be like resourceful.
what else did I have?
So you're not taking more than you're giving or vice versa.
Some bone broth. That's all I've had, man. So I'm pretty fatigued. I need to eat really.
Environment, this space offers a lot of practice because there's so
But
much
yeah, I might actually keep. It's 720 max. Is that 720? Looks pretty good though. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off, guys. I think because I need to eat because I'm really flagging. But we're pretty much there with this tattoo, to be honest. It's just the background stuff to do. Head over to my Instagram and check the final piece out.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so you're saying
yeah, man, I appreciate you for watching. Please smash that thumbs up button. And I will be back tomorrow. The vlog will be coming out tonight as well. The new vlog. So yeah, I appreciate you guys.
okay, so you guys are sort of